Hello, everyone. I'm Simon Preston, and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video on this channel. So let's have a recap of the recent friendly internationals that the Reggae Girlz had in Jamaica quite recently. So they took on Paraguay, a team that is preparing for the intercontinental playoffs for the World Cup. Paraguay basically could qualify for the World Cup, and they used these games in preparation for that in particular. So the first game was at the Montego Bay Sports Complex in Catherine Hall, and the second game at the National Stadium in Kingston. So the first game at Catherine Hall in Montego Bay finished 1-0. The Reggae Girlz getting that goal through Alison Swaby, scoring her first goal for Jamaica. What a moment it was at the death of the game, deep into second half stoppage time. And the second game at the National Stadium, unfortunately, Jamaica's unbeaten run at home for the Reggae Girlz came to an end as they fell 2-1 to Paraguay at the National Stadium. Khadija Bunny Shaw scoring her 55th international goal for Jamaica in her 41st appearance. Now, I've made this statement clear on the men's side of things, and I'll also make it clear on the women's side of things as well. As it relates to friendly matches, for me, it's all about the performance, not the result. A result would be absolutely great. Who doesn't love winning? Everybody loves to win, which is why I have no problem whatsoever if we were to win games. And Lauren Donaldson made the point clear, the head coach of the Reggae Girlz, after the second game in particular against Paraguay, that he made some tweaks from the first game, and this was a way of experimenting ahead of the World Cup. There were a couple of changes, a change in tactics. He made it clear that we looked a bit slow in terms of the way that we approach game, even from the warm-up, and that sort of affected things. And heading into the second half, the intensity started to raise. But I'll be quite frank with you, on another day, based on the quantity of chances that were created by the Reggae Girlz across both games, on another day, it could have been 3-4-0 in the first game and 5-2 in the second game. So the chances are being created, which is absolutely brilliant. You want to see that heading into a World Cup, and I'm very, very happy that heading into 2023, creating chances is not going to be our problem and won't be our problem, because we have goal threats. We have persons that are creative to help us create chances heading into the World Cup. And what a debut it was for Rachel Jones, former United States youth player, to come on to the fore. And she certainly stamped her authority to put herself, whether it's a 23 or 26 player roster for the World Cup, she's put herself in good stead, and at minimum, put her part of roster plans for the next international window in February. Hopefully, the Reggae Girlz will have 2 games in this particular window, but I can definitely tell you that she's put herself in a strong position for the next window in particular. Now, our college players were not available to us. The likes of Jody Brown, Kiki Van Zanten, Sade Adama-Lekon, not available to us. So that potency was also missing. And that ammunition could have given the team a boost, a lift, heading into these games in particular. But we worked with the players that we had, and the players that we had certainly gave us quality. And if you ask me, I'm thinking probably 12 or 13 of the girls in this current roster, in my opinion, will be part of the squad for the World Cup. We'll have to wait and see, because a lot of things can change between now and then, whether based on form, hopefully no injuries or fatigue for the players heading into next summer. But it's just the reality of life as a professional football player. You will have injuries, you will have players that are not on form. So the important aspect is heading into the new year to ensure that the intensity remains the same. Now, in these 2 matches in particular, we got to see 135 minutes from Rebecca Spencer, and 45 minutes from Sydney Schneider. Personally, I would have loved to have seen Leah Brooks just make her debut, even if it was 10 minutes. But I think just having her part of the squad, traveling with the team, training and learning from a Rebecca Spencer, learning from a Sydney Schneider, does her tremendously well. Of course, as we know, she represented Jamaica. We're in the Dominican Republic in the CONCACAF Youth Championship earlier this year. So just being part of the national team squad, brilliant for her. Chanel Buckley, same for her as well. Just being in and around the team. Konya Plummer, her presence just being back in the squad, another great lift as well. And I think if she can get back to match sharpness, find a club in North America, I think she has a chance. I think she really, really has a chance to get back into the roster. And at centre half, when you bear in mind the Swaby sisters, Vian Sampson, Konya Plummer, that's good depth. That's good depth right there. And I haven't even mentioned Malia Atkins, who could be a wild card. Which areas do we need depth moving forward? It would be nice to have depth for Denisha Blackwood moving forward. Now, I know Vian Sampson has the ability to play there, but personally, I would love to have another left back that can be tested out there. Right back, I think Tierney Wiltshire more or less could have that right back spot tied up. Could. I think she demonstrated intelligence, good movement, and good communication. And I think she did herself extremely well. Now, an option is, well, I don't think it's any secret to many that you could have persons that are experimented in those sort of positions, like a Tiffany Cameron, bearing in mind the attacking options that are available for Jamaica. The Jodie Browns, the Khadija Bunny Shaws, Kayla McCoy, Shayna Matthews, Kiki Van Zanten, Maria Gray, Sade Darmalekon. So you're talking about a lot of ammunition right there. And as we saw, just 7 minutes against Paraguay in the second game, when Tiffany Cameron came on at right back, it helped Shayna to push a little bit further forward. Although it was 7 minutes, it was clear and evident in that sort of aspect. So that is something that we can consider from that angle. And then you look at the midfield options now. Drew Spence, Atlanta Primus, Janiela Asher, could Marla Sweatman enter back the frame? We know about her accuracy with set pieces. Could she be another option in terms of coming back into the fold? That's something for us to consider. But I think we're in good stead. If you were to ask me, if I had to personally say, I would love to have 3 new players to the squad or 3 players to try to compete for a World Cup spot, for me personally, it would be Taylor Hines, Jessica Naz, and Lauren James. For me, if I had 3 persons to say, let's see how you guys do in these couple of friendlies, and from there, we'll see if you can get to the World Cup squad. I think if you have those 3 players in, then we're looking at potentially beyond the round of 16 of a World Cup. And I didn't even mention Havana Salone in midfield as well. Trudy Carter. It's going to be a headache for Lauren Donaldson for team selection, meaning the 23-26 for the World Cup. It's going to be extremely difficult. All areas of the pitch, from goalkeeper to defense to midfield to attack. Yes, even goalkeeper as well, when you bear in mind Rebecca Spencer, Sydney Schneider, Leah Brooks is in the frame, no, and Yasmin Jameson. You're going to pick 3. Who do you leave out? Do you carry Leah Brooks for the experience of going to a World Cup so that you can build towards 2027? Or do you carry Yasmin Jameson, who is in Europe and building, and who is a great character in the dressing room, but the team? Big questions, big decisions to be made. What are your thoughts? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content. Take care, everybody.